gonna make him an offer again.
Of all the gin joints and all the towns and all the
Can't
world.
handle the truth. Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the
Frankly,
war.
my dear, I don't give a damn.
This is where the fun begins.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Movie Melee. We got an exciting match for you in the singles division, and interesting one. You might have some deja vu seeing the thumbnail and the players in the title today, because we got Joe Farrelly, who in his last match in round one of the tournament faced Kirk Kowalkowski in quite frankly, an instant classic matchup. One of the best matches I think we've seen in a very, very long time. Went to sudden death. 29-28 was the score. And Joe Farrelly pulled off the win there. Now he moved on to round number 2, where he will be facing Kirk Kowalkowski again, because Igor had to take a step back from competing for a little while. So all best wishes to Igor. Hope he's doing all right. But yeah, it should be an interesting one. Like I said, super competitive when they last fought. They're not fighting, you get what I mean? But yeah, it should be a good one. Hopefully the pressure's on them to perform at just as high of a level as they did last time. We'll see. Not really. As long as it's a good match, that's all you can ask for. But we'll get to pre-match interviews right now, starting with, I believe, our second and lower ranked competitor this evening, Joe, Kirk, because I think Joe said he wanted to go second. Anyways, Kirk, how you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm happy to be back. Not too often that life gives you a do-over, so I got to take advantage of this best I can. I'm excited. Like you said, last match was a great match. It was just so close, but Joe earned that win, and hoping for a different result today.
All right. Well, good luck to you. We will now bring in your opponent for this evening, Mr. Joe Farrelly. Joe, like we said, it was a crazy match last time you guys faced off, but it's a new match today. How you feeling?
Yeah, feel good. That last match was incredible. I have to say, that's, for me, I think it may have been the best I've ever performed in Movie Melee. And what was great about it was Kirk played so well too, and that it wasn't just like I played well and I absolutely destroyed the opposition. It was a great back and forth, and yeah, I really enjoyed that match, and hoping for the same here. But lightning rarely strikes twice. But for one of us, maybe a redemption; for the other, luck catching up with them. Maybe.
All right. Well, good luck to you as well. We will now get into round number 1, which will work like this. It is the whiteboard round. Each player will be asked 8 questions, 8 different categories of movie trivia, in which they will answer individually on their whiteboards. Each player has 3 repeats, 1 challenge to use for the entirety of the match. Oh, and if they get all 8 questions right here, they will be asked a bonus question also worth a point. Any questions before we get started? Cool. All right. Well, then your first question around number 1 will come in the category of
Good luck.
Biopics. My Left Foot centers around what Irish artist? I have not seen this film. Yeah. If Payson were here, he'd do a fake out like he's going to do an Irish accent, but then he ends up not doing it because he's not allowed to. I'm not Payson, though, so that's all you get for banter. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We will start with Joe.
Christy Brown.
And Kirk.
UK-centric questions are at the bat for Joe.
Christy Brown is correct.
I saw that film once. I think it was Dan Murrell's recommendation.
Your next question will come in the category of animation. What 1990s animated film features a scene where all the firstborn sons in a country were killed on the same night by an act of God? Acts of God. Am I right? I don't know. It's going to be a rough round 1. I'm sorry, guys. 5, 4,
Great.
3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll start with Kirk.
The Prince of Egypt.
And Joe.
Prince of Egypt.
The Prince of Egypt is correct. So your next question will come in the category of the 1970s. What actor had an early role as the director's assistant stat in The Conversation? No conversations to be had on the desk because I'm all alone. Although there are people backstage. So please sound off in the private chat so I feel like I'm not talking to a wall. Please. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got a no in the chat. Pens down. We'll go to Joe first.
Not sure. Harrison Ford.
Damn
And
it.
Kirk.
Harrison Ford, this guy.
Harrison
For
Ford. is
sure, I
correct.
was tying it up.
All right. So your next question will be in the category of sports. What NFL team does the main character play for in Invincible? So now someone in the chat says, Dylan, drop a hotness ranking for the writer's room. You know what? Actually, I think I'll just... I don't need the chat to chime in. That's fine, guys. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Kirk first.
Philadelphia Eagles.
And Joe?
The words, Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles is correct. Your next question will be in the category of comic book movies. Who directed Batman and Robin? I'll say I did not specify in the last question whether I needed the city and the team name. So thank you both for writing the same thing, making my life easier. Appreciate it.
I saw that film once, but they referenced it on It's Always Sunny, which I've seen through 4 or 5 times.
Fair enough. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to, I think, Joe first.
Joel Schumacher.
And Kirk?
Joel Schumacher.
Joel Schumacher is correct. 5-4 as we now get into your next question in the category of recent releases. Zoe Saldana's character has what profession in Emilia Perez?
Not the best picture nominee I watched today.
It's not very good. I can't say you're missing out on much. Whoa, Dylan with the hot takes. That's not a hot take. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We will go to Kirk.
Is she a lawyer?
And Joe.
Journalist.
Now we have a tie game. It is a lawyer.
For the record, I haven't seen that movie. Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
I think I saw a clip. She was walking around asking people questions, so it was one of them.
So your next question will be in the category of classics. George Sanders plays a condescending drama critic named Addison DeWitt in what 1950s film? Shout out to all the drama critics out there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We will go to Joe.
Sunset Boulevard.
And Kirk.
Joe picked a better movie, All About Eve.
Interesting. All About Eve is correct.
Well, I erased Singing in the Rain, so we're fine.
So then your final question around number 1 will come in the category of action/adventure. What type of item are the Na'vi attempting to protect in Avatar? I will say, I'm not sure. I think I slightly prefer All About Eve, but Sunset Boulevard is great. They're both 4.5-star movies for me. Love them both.
Only seen Sunset
You're
Boulevard.
entitled to your opinion.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pens down. We'll go to Kirk.
A tree?
And Joe?
Tree.
Tree is correct. So coming out of round number 1, I have the score at Kirk in the lead 7-6. I believe that was also the score coming out of their first match. So there you go.
just quickly, I noticed the sticker on the back of your whiteboard. There's a website I can tell you later. Has the Genko T-shirt. Genko
nice.
T-shirt. Where I got my House of Trades T-shirt.
Sweet.
Right. So we will go into round number 2, which will work like this. It is the wheel round. Each player will get the chance to spin the wheel, which will decide what category they'll be answering questions in, each worth 2 points apiece, unless they check down multiple choice, in which case it'll be worth 1 point. Stealing is available in this round. Categories that they could spin today are Star Trek, directed by Martin Scorsese, recent releases, actors and actresses, comic book movies, 1970s, westerns, and mystery/thrillers. So, Kirk, since you are in the lead, would you like to spin first or defer?
With Joe's luck on this wheel, I'm going to regret whatever I say, but I will spin second.
All right, then this is your first spin, Joe.
Are we both going to spin our strengths again?
Land on wax.
No.
Yeah. Okay. This is the category that you.
Yeah.
Land on recent releases.
Okay.
Wheel back. We'll be reading your questions in recent releases. In what 2024 movie will you find a play titled Edward?
Multiple choice, please.
Your options are A, Ghostlight, B, A Different Man, C, Janet Planet, or D, Sing Sing.
Sing Sing.
That is unfortunately incorrect. Kirk for the 1 point steal. Is it A, Ghostlight, B, A Different Man, C, Janet Planet, or D, Sing Sing?
I'm going to say Janet Planet.
That is also incorrect. We were looking for B, A Different Man.
I thought he was a movie actor in that.
Your second question. Who directed Blitz?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, Malcolm Washington, B, Ava DuVernay, C, Steve McQueen, or D, Lee Daniels.
Steve McQueen.
That is correct for 1 point.
I didn't know it until you said it. I was like, I think I've heard Steve McQueen's Blitz sentence, so that works.
Your third question now. In Speak No Evil, the Dalton family first meets Patty, Kiara, and Ant in what European country?
Italy.
That is correct for 2 points.
Yay, one I saw.
Your penultimate question now. Near the end of Twisters, the main characters take shelter from the tornado in what type of location?
Movie theater.
That is correct for 2 points.
Didn't we have a Twisters question last time, Kurt?
Yeah.
But that was in round one.
Yeah.
We got that one wrong, though.
I did.
No, did I?
And your final question in this category. Who plays Rona, a recovering alcoholic, in The Outrun?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, Saoirse Ronan, B, Felicity Jones, C, Daisy Ridley, or D, Jodie Comer.
B, as in Bravo.
B is incorrect. So for the 1 point steal, is it A, Saoirse Ronan, B, Felicity Jones, C, Daisy Ridley, or D, Jodie Comer?
Saoirse Ronan.
That is correct for the 1 point steal. All right. So then coming out of Joe's round, I now have the score at him in the lead 11-8 as we get into Kirk's first spin. And never mind, it's a free respin. And you land on Spinner's Choice.
Oh, okay. What's the score?
11-8, Joe's favorite.
So he's up by 3. Do I want to get cute or not? I'll play it safe. Give me Scorsese.
All right. So then your first question in the category of directed by Martin Scorsese. How many years was Max Cady in prison for in Cape Fear?
Son of these number questions, man, every time. Multiple choice.
Your options are A, 13, B, 14, C, 15, or D, 16.
14.
That is correct for 1 point. Your second question. At the beginning of The Aviator, what disease does Howard Hughes' mother warn him about?
There's like a couple that were going around it. Multiple choice.
Your options are A, polio, B, smallpox, C, cholera, or D, tuberculosis.
Cholera.
That is correct for 1 point. Now your third question. What character does Andre Gregory play in The Last Temptation of Christ?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, Paul of Tarsus, B, Simon Peter, C, John the Baptist, or D, Pontius Pilate.
John the Baptist.
That is correct for 1 point. And the tie game. Your penultimate question in this category. In Silence, Governor Inoue Masahige is referred to by what moniker?
Multiple choice.
Your options are A, the predecessor, B, the inquisitor, C, the bureaucracy, or D, the apostate. Sorry.
B as in boy.
That is correct for 1 point. Apologies for stumbling my way through that.
That's fine.
And your final question in this category. Nicky Koskoff has what nickname because of his bad hairpiece in The Wolf of Wall Street?
Rugrat.
And that is correct for 2 more points. We'll get into the Pick Your Poison round now, which will work like this. We will be going back and forth drafting categories, starting with the player in the lead. Once a category is drafted, it cannot be drafted by your opponent. Once all categories are drafted, the player behind will answer questions until they take the lead. The players will choose which category they would like to take for their 1, 2, 3, and 4-point question in that order, and we will go until there is a mathematical winner. The categories that they could choose from today are crime, action/adventure, 1970s, comedy, classics, sci-fi/fantasy, 1980s, and comic book movies. So we'll let them pick their categories right now, and we will be right back. All right, we're back. The players have selected their categories, so we will start with Joe since he is down by 3. So what category would you like for your 1-pointer?
80s, please.
All right. So your 1-pointer in the category of the 1980s. Who directed The Outsiders?
I'm not going to waste anyone's time. I don't know it, so I'm just going to throw out Richard Donner.
It's unfortunately incorrect. We were looking for Francis Ford Coppola. So we'll stick with you. What category would you like for your 2-pointer now?
Action adventure.
All right. Your question in action/adventure. Who directed Beowulf?
And directors, not great for me at the moment. Ridley Scott.
It's unfortunately incorrect. We're looking for Robert Zemeckis when he was desperately trying to make motion capture animation happen. So we'll stick with you now. What would you like for your 3-pointer?
Comedy.
All right. Your 3-point question in the category of comedy. In Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, name 2 of the 4 games Bill and Ted play against death, all of which he eventually loses and is placed under their control. And we'll give you a bit of extra time. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Repeat the question.
All right, that is your first repeat. Your question again. In Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, name 2 of the 4 games Bill and Ted play against death, all of which he eventually loses and is placed under their control.
Remind me of the score? 11-14.
Yes.
All right, then. Save the other 2, at least. Avoid a technical. Chess, snakes and ladders.
This is unfortunately incorrect. The options that we would have accepted were Battleship, Clue, Electric Football, and Twister.
Clue was in my head, but I only got one anyway.
All right, so then here is the situation. Joe has his 4-pointer remaining in sci-fi/fantasy. If he hits it, he'll send it back over to Kirk. If he misses, Kirk will be the winner. So your question in sci-fi/fantasy. In what 90s sci-fi film is the main character assigned as a navigator for a space mission to Titan, one of Saturn's moons?
Gattaca.
That is correct for 4 big points. All right, so sending it back over to Kirk, what would you like for your 1-pointer?
Give me comic book movies.
All right. Your 1-point question in comic book movies. Christoph Waltz, Jennifer Connelly, and Mahershala Ali provide supporting performances in what 2019 comic book movie?
Alita Battle Angel.
That is correct for 1 point. And the tie game. So here's the situation we have here. If Kirk hits any of his remaining questions, he will be the winner.
If not,
don't put that out there yet.
We'll need to go 15 deep in sudden deep, 15 deep in sudden death, though, so you know.
So what question would you, or what category would you like for your next question?
I'll take classics.
All right. So your 2-point question in the category of classics. Frank Sinatra, Angela Lansbury, and Janet Leigh all appear in what 1962 thriller?
The Manchurian Candidate.
And your winner, Kirk Kowalkowski. The Manchurian Candidate is correct. So we'll put Joe backstage Kirk backstage for now, and talk to Joe. Joe, very close game. Look, I think it was just a bit of a rough circumstances, I think, in round 3. Not the questions I think you were hoping for, but you still put up a hell of a game up until that point. You did really solid in recent releases, kept the pace with Kirk in round 1. So overall, I think this was not a bad performance for you at all. How you feel?
Yeah, not too bad. Like you said, when you pick such varied categories for your 1 and 2, there's always a chance you haven't seen them or just don't know much about them, who directed them, etc. So one of those things that happens. And yeah, Spinner's choice is a Spinner's choice. Granted, he did multiple his way through, but it's the way it goes sometimes. I just hope this match doesn't tarnish the reputation we created from the previous match, because this was still a good match, but that was a great match. Kirk deserved it. He played better than me. A little bit disappointed, but could have been worse.
Yeah, well, if anything, considering both matches that you guys played, I think were really solid. This sets up the idea for a trilogy, maybe possibly down the line, so that'd be cool. But aside from Kirk, is there anyone else that you would be wanting to play when you return?
Yeah. Naturally, the match was set up with Igor. Had to step away. For the reason I think it is good reasons, but still had to take a step back. So I would like to get that match with Igor eventually. A good friend of mine. Do wish him the best. Doesn't need to hurry back, obviously.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for coming out, Joe. You played a great game. We'll put you backstage for now, and we'll bring in our first place finisher for this evening, Kirk Kowalkowski. Kirk getting some retribution, I think, from his last match. I don't think you expected it to be set up this quickly, but there you go. A very solid performance from you. You navigated your strength very well. I think those were some tough strength level questions, and you didn't drop any steal opportunities there. You didn't give up any steal opportunities, so that was very well done. 7 out of 8 in round 1 is fantastic. Yeah, overall, great performance. How you feeling?
I feel really good. Again, Joe played great. Joe is a tough out in Melee. I know obviously he's one of, if not the greatest fandom player of all time, but I think he's proved these last couple matches that he can definitely hold his own in this league as well. I think he's scored 6 in both round ones. And that's if it's tied after it's close 1 point or so after round 1, it's anybody's game moving forward. So you never know. And he is he's impressed me. These both, like he said, this match wasn't as legendary as the last one will be, but this one definitely was a solid match and a great competition. So I'm proud to have played Joe twice, get to win one time, and just glad. Thank you to Igor. Thank you to Igor's baby for making all this possible. And but no, I'm glad to be moving on.
Well, yeah, now with this win, you found yourself in the triple threat #1 contenders match, the finals of the tournament. So I can tell you one of the people that you'll be playing for sure, which will be Nazario Montenegro.
Oh, wow.
And you'll also be playing the winner of the match between Amaru Moses and Kaiser Huang.
That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm rooting for definitely rooting for Kaiser to win that because not a good. I always root for Rue, but I think Kaiser and Nazario will literally devour each other. And I can just kind of walk in and pick up the pieces. But yeah, I'm excited. I didn't realize. I thought I thought I had another match for that. So I'm excited that it's the finals already. And we'll see what happens. I'm just glad to be here.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you. Congrats on the win. We'll now put you backstage. Thank you all for watching. This has been a great episode of Movie Melee. Wouldn't you agree? I think so. Thank you to all the writers, showrunners, players, everyone who helps make this league what it is. We'll see you all in the next one. Bye.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
In case I don't see you.
I'm gonna go home and sleep with my wife.
I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship.